Are you stuck in a trauma bond? Maybe you've been with a toxic person for a period of time and you're like, I don't know what is actually real. I don't know what's actually true. A lot of times when a person is stuck in a toxic relationship, another person gets trapped. When I was with another person that got a trauma bond to me, they were trapped. You need to understand, like, this piece makes a lot of confusion. Like, in dealing with narcissism and being a narcissist, my wife for a period of time was trapped. She was trauma bonded to me. What did this actually mean? What did this actually look like? It looked like for a period of time, she didn't know who she was. She would defend me to other people because she thought that was just what she was supposed to do, how she was supposed to show up as a wife, when that was completely false because of what I was doing. When you are trauma bonded to another person, you are stuck in a hope that this person is going to change, in a hope that this person is going to realize how abusive, how much of an asshole he actually is. You're stuck with this wondering, will they actually get better? Will he actually figure it out? And you start to believe that there's potential there. You start to believe that there's something that's going to help fix him. The sad thing is a lot of times you get to the place where you feel like you're the one that's going to fix him. So you try, so you try, so you try, and you get to the place where you feel like you might be able to fix him, but nothing changes. Is that you? Are you stuck in a toxic relationship where you think you might be able to fix somebody and it's not? It's not working. It's not changing. It's not developing. You see, hope and potential are one of the first things that you need to have inside the trauma bond that make you confused and make you stick around even longer in a relationship that you normally wouldn't think twice of leaving, except that person has told you repeatedly that they love you. And they produce this confusion in your head. This is what's called cognitive dissonance. It's the idea of holding two opposing thoughts at the same time. Typically, it sounds like, do I believe his words or do I believe his actions? Which one? Many times you come up with a third story or a third version of reality just to be able to cope with it, just to be able to survive. Because either reality sucks, either reality is awful. You're like, maybe I should make this decision. Well, he's going to get upset at me and yell at me. Maybe I should make this decision. Well, he's going to stonewall me. He's going to ghost me. I don't know which I should do. And you feel like you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And this happens over and over and over again. And oftentimes, all it does is it immobilizes you. It makes you so that you never make a move for your health, for your growth. Hope and potential, cognitive dissonance are some of the first pieces that get you trapped inside this trauma bond. I was talking to someone earlier today and they were like, it's kind of like addiction. I was like, yes, 100%. It is like an addiction, especially when the narcissist is pushing you away and you're like, wait a second, I want your love. And then push you away. Wait a second. And he goes back and forth. This is how a narcissist gets to the place where they can do a reverse Hoover. They just sit back and they wait for you to come to them because they've already planted everything there. They've already started with all of that to get you to the place that you will always come back. You will always return to that person because of the hope, because of the potential, and because of the cognitive dissonance. The third one that a lot of times people look back on the past is the intermittent reinforcement. These are the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs. These are things that it was great, it was awful. It was great, it was awful. He loves me, he hates me. And you see this over and over and over again where you get to this place where you're like, I don't know what to believe. You might be sitting on the other side of the screen feeling like I feel crazy because he's describing my situation exactly. How does he even know this? Because it all happens the same exact way with every single narcissist we see. Yes, there's different personalities. Yes, there's different types. But rule of thumb, how it works when you get trauma bonded, when you get stuck to a toxic person, hope, potential, cognitive dissonance, intermittent reinforcement. Maybe you're out of the relationship and you're looking back and you're like, I still ruminate. I still feel stuck. I still don't know how to move on because time isn't fixing it. Time does not heal all wounds. That's a bunch of BS. Okay. I've gone no contact, but I still ruminate. I still think about him. He's still stuck in my head. He's still taking up real estate. And you start to think these things and you start to look the past, be like, why can't I let go? It's because of the story that you're telling yourself. What do I mean by this? A lot of times when people look at the past, I want you to picture it. Picture it like you're looking off in the distance at a mountain range and you're far away from it. You see it in the distance. You see this mountain range. You see it looks from a distance, it just looks like one giant mountain going up. But then you take a full go over the Rocky Mountains and you go over the mountains near you and you start to look down and you start to see It's not just one giant mountain. It's a slew of all different mountains. And those mountains have peaks and then they have pits and then they have peaks and then they have pits. But from far away, it looks great. Looks like one single thing. This is what happens in your relationship. You start to look at the past. You start to look at the past, and all you see is the peaks from a distance. You see this peak. You see this peak. You see this peak, and you don't see the pits in between. You don't see the shit that was in between that caused you to get trapped to this person, that caused you to feel crazy, that kept you in the rumination cycle over and over and over again. And sometimes people get stuck because they're only ruminating, thinking about the good times, and there's nothing there to remind them about the stuff in between. If you're at the place where you're struggling with the rumination, with the trauma bond, with the guilt of being with that person for so long, I want you to click the link in the bio, escapetoxicity.com. It's a 7-day challenge for $7. You get lifetime access to the community. You start to do daily work on you, and it's radically transformative. I haven't had someone gone through it that's been like, that was worthless. Not worth my $7. At the end of the day, I don't care if you do it or not. You have to care. You have to care that you want to do it for your growth, for your healing, for your change, and for your development. This is what we strive to help people with every single day, is to break the story that you believe, because you believe oftentimes a fantasy. You believe oftentimes a fiction that keeps you going back to a toxic person. Here's the hard truth you might need to hear today. The narcissist does not care about you. You do not matter to the narcissist, but that does not mean that you do not matter. That means that the person that was viewing you didn't know how to actually value you or value your worth. But instead, they decided to do their own thing. Instead, he decided to cheat. Instead, he decided to lie to you. Instead, he decided to live a life as a coward versus actually standing up and saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is who I am, owning it. I never owned it. I never was the person who wanted to be accountable to my wife, that wanted to be honest to other people. But instead, I continued through life lying and sedating and hiding, going from person to person to person, thinking maybe this next person will fix me. And they never did. How long will you wait to start your healing process? How long will you wait to get the change that you deserve? Breaking the trauma bond, getting rid of the rumination, working through to change your story to change your life. It's 100% possible. I was talking to someone earlier today, and they sent me a text message. And let me pull it up. They sent me a text message, and I want to read this because it was really incredible. The survivor that's in our Thriver community that has been working hard, putting in the work, and she sent me this text, and it was really amazing. Okay. She said this: thanks, Ben. I just wanted to say, the kid's dad didn't return the kids for Mother's Day. Really pivotal point, right? Didn't return the kids for Mother's Day. Prior to signing up for these courses, I would have been a crying mess, and I wouldn't have recovered for days. Yesterday, I was like, okay, par for the course. I'll see you tomorrow after school, and I'll do Mother's Day with them then. I'm just not rattled anymore. I'm facing challenges with the strength I never knew I had. Super exciting, super encouraged whenever I saw that. I was like, yes. Like, that is her actually taking back her power, growing and changing. If you want to be a part of any of our communities that go way more in depth in learning how you actually maximize who you are in your relationships, in your spirituality, in your fitness, in your business, all those different aspects, you can reach out. You can go to rawmotivations.com, click on the one-on-ones. Let me know, hey, I'm interested in the Thriver community, and we can talk. If you're like, hey, I need to get started on my healing journey, then go to escapetoxicity.com. It's the link in the bio. And start your process of understanding where you're at, what's going on, and to get the tools to be able to move forward. Trust that you guys will make the decision, not for me. I don't need you to show up. I don't need your money. I don't need anything from you. I need you to show up for you. That's it. Yes, 100% you can join from the UK. I've got people all across the globe that are in the $7 challenge, that are in the Thriver community. Would love to see anybody anywhere and everywhere. Click the link in the bio. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can go to rawmotivations.com. Look forward to working with you.